I've been thinking lately about the first computer game I ever really got obsessed with. It was this Star Trek game, which I used to play on the Commodore PET microcomputer in the late 70s, probably around 1977. It's really a text-based game. You have commands that you type in to fire, to move. You had to give in coordinates and plot bearings of where you wanted to fire things to. The object of the game was to sort of explore the universe and destroy Klingons. It did have a sort of long-range radar feature, which was quite nice. So you could see what was in each quadrant. So you could see how many Klingons, how many stars, I think, and how many bases there were where you could refuel. It was quite a simple game, and it had its roots in the early 1970s in a game written in 1971 by Mike Mayfield and then ported to various different mini computers and microcomputers by David Arl and Mary Cole in 1973, and it appeared in a very popular book called 101 Basic Programs or Basic Computer Games. And I think this is a version that probably the Commodore Basic version that I played was probably derived from this version of the game. It was very popular on microcomputers in the 1970s. On Scratch Day, I got a little bit obsessed with trying to recreate this game in Scratch, and soon I came up against a few problems, and I also started getting a little obsessed about starfields. I wanted to be able to move around more freely. Scratch is a very graphical language, and I thought, well, it's silly to try and recreate a text-based game in Scratch. It'd be better to do that in Python, maybe. Let's just do a modern take on it, and this is kind of what I've ended up with. I've called it Free Trek. It's on the Scratch website, so you can play this game. It's very you can just go straight to the Scratch website. I'll put a link below. It's called Free Trek, and if we have a look inside the game, we'll start playing it. Let's go full screen. So it's creating the universe. The cool thing about this is you move around using the arrow keys. You go forward and you can go left and right, and the stars change, but they always stay in the same place. So you're sort of free to roam around the universe. You fire using the space bar. Klingons fire torpedoes back at you. Notice you've got a number of Klingons that you have to discover is here. You've got a limited amount of time. You've got to do it before Stardate 2000. Your X and Y coordinates are displayed at the top left-hand corner. Your energy goes down as you move around. It also goes down quite a lot if I put my shields up. So if I press S to put the shields up, you'll see the energy levels start going down really, really quickly. But it's important to use shields, because if you don't, your status will go down. That's kind of your health. If that goes down to 0, you lose the game. There are star bases somewhere. I don't know where they are. They're randomly plotted. Oh, there's one. Right, there's a star base. So I can go there. I can refuel and I can load up on photon torpedoes. This might be a good place to blow up some Klingons, because I can go and refuel and get some repairs done while I'm here. I'm quite pleased with this. The thing that I'm really pleased about is the fact that I've got the stars are plotted randomly. The stars, Klingons and star bases are plotted randomly, but they're consistent within each version of the game. So when you roll around the universe, they're always in the same place. The playing screen is 2,000 pixels across and 2,000 pixels up and down. So it's much bigger than the actual Scratch playing screen. So you've got quite a nice little universe to explore. The crucial bit, the leap to make this work, is the maths involved in making the star field move. This is the really clever bit, and it was my eldest son Henry who helped me with this. This is way beyond me. So where we change, every object in the game is constantly scanning to see if it's in a part of the screen where it can be seen. If it is, it reveals itself, and they're constantly moving their coordinates. So I've got lots of clones of Klingons and stars constantly checking, and they're looking to see which direction they should move in, because the X and Y coordinates of each object will change depending on the bearing of the starship, of the Enterprise. Which way is it pointing? And here's the clever bit of maths that my son helped me work out. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think of it. Have a play with it. If you've got any suggestions for improvements, I'd love to hear them. And if it rekindles any nostalgia for the classic Star Trek games of your youth, please let me know. And let me know, what was your favourite version of Star Trek? What was your favourite game that you like to play? First computer game that you like to play? And what was it about that game that made it so addictive? Because I spent many, many hours playing a game a little bit like this.